All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This lesson is going to be based on a conversation that I heard two Edomites having on a train, man, right? And they was pretty much just talking about like houses that they planned on buying. That was $500,000. Talking about government contracts and talking about like different ways that they was planning on like pretty much planning on being conniving to try and get another property, man, right? And try and pay as little price as they could because they had knowledge that was handed down to them, secret knowledge handed down to them, that the person that owns the property can't really do much with it because there's certain things that is stopping them from being able to do certain things from it, man. And what I'm going to talk about in this lesson is how the Edomites for such a long time, the Edomites for such a long time haven't had to deal with any problems, man, but Yahweh's starting to turn that over anyway. This is Psalm chapter 73 and verse 3. For I was envious like the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, and if I didn't know that these people were the Edomites, right, I might have been jealous when I heard that stuff. I might have been envious when I heard them speaking about that stuff because I would have been like, man, they get all the good stuff, you know? But understanding who these people are lets you understand why they've got the riches. And lets you understand that they're not going to have the riches forever. Verse 3 again, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity, Salakia, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men, and they're not. They're still, even right now, they're catching certain hells, but their life is still better than the average person's life. They've still got way more disposable money to be able to do certain things different to everybody else on this earth. Verse 6, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They do. That's why this Edomite's was talking about buying another property and all of these things, right? But most Israelites don't even have one property. And their first property damn sure ain't gonna cost $500,000. They'll probably be looking to get like a £100,000 house, man, or 80 grand house. You know. Verse 9. Unless they're singing, moonwalking, or dancing, or slamming a ball, or boxing each other in their mouth and getting concussions, you know, or playing some kind of sports. But this Edomite was just some more than likely some just normal like businessman type cat, you know. Verse 9, he didn't look like he was nothing special to me. Just some bold-headed, bold-faced, untrustworthy looking Voldemort looking Edomite, man. That completely looked like a complete demon, actually. Verse 9, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth. In fact, it's lucky, let me jump up a bit more. Verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak loftily, and they do speak loftily concerning oppression because they ain't been oppressed like that yet, right? But let's see if they're going to be speaking loftily about oppression when it's their turn. Because one of the things that these Edomite devils say now is, oh, we civilized you. You would have been swinging from trees in Africa if it wasn't for us. And some people actually believe that. That's the thing that makes it worse. Some people actually believe that they've been civilized. Yet in this society, men don't even know if they want to be men, and women don't even know if they want to be women. And they legalize. They've literally made brothels for animals, like for humans to do things with animals inside of Germany. So how is that civilized? Where's the civilization about that? I don't get it. I don't understand how that can be civil. A human's supposed to only do things with a human of the opposite gender. That's simple. But it's not simple in the eyes of an Edomite. Verse 9, in fact, verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to him. And they say, how doth God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? And that's what they say, man. They think that Yahweh ain't spotting what these devils are doing, man. They think he don't know. Verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches, and they do. And that's why this devil was able to buy or think about buying some £500,000 house, man. Verse 13. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. And people might say, are you hating? Are you jealous? No. We're angry because these things that these Edomites are glorifying themselves in, they got it off the backs of us. And I don't care what nobody wants to say about, oh, you've never been a slave and all of this stuff. Listen, man, if somebody took your grandparents and did things to them, or your great-great-great-great-grandparents and did things to them, you've got a right to have a problem with that. The devils actually think that they can try and tell us to not be angry about the things that happen to our family members. Who the fuck do they think they are, man? Oh, it was your family members, but it wasn't you. Well, let me do something to your family member right now in your face and tell me you ain't going to be angry about it. Tell me you ain't going to say, oh, you never experienced it, so you don't have to be angry about it. You ain't going to accept that, you damn devils. And that's why when what happened in Ukraine happened, you devils were saying, oh, it's hard for me because blonde hair, blue eyes, people are getting blown to smithereens. That's what you were saying. And that's part of the problem that everyone has with these Edomites as well. The hypocrisy, man. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. And that's the life of an Israelite, man. We're catching hell. But the scriptures let us know why. Because we're being tried as gold in the furnace of adversity. Right? The scriptures also say, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, because the gift that you're going to get for believing in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is so wonderful, man, that this punishment that you're going through right now seems like a lot. But when you actually see what you're going to be given, it's going to be nothing. It's going to mean nothing. You're going to be like, man, that's all I had to go through to get all of this. And that's for the worst case of what a brother might go through. The brother that's going through the worst things right now, having all these scumbags bearing false witness on him, right? Having all these people trying to lie about them on the comment board, trying to accuse them of certain things, right? Trying to stalk them, trying to beat them up, trying to harm them. Well, these people are going to lose anyway, man. They're going to lose. Verse 15, if I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. And that's what Yahweh's going to do, man. Because once these Edomites get real close to the things that they hope to receive, that's when he's going to take them down. That's when he's going to take them down, man. Let me get it right here. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And that word wicked, if I'm not mistaken, means laborer. And that's pretty much talking about us, man. All the people that was laboring in his society is going to be upon him, man. Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when Esau is about to fill his belly, meaning he's understood how to do the chip, right? He understands the technology completely. Now all he has to do is implement it. He understands all the things that he put in them JABs, right? He understands exactly the methods to use to be able to make people be completely slaves underneath his system, right? Yahweh's going to destroy him at that time. Let me read it again. Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through, because Esau's actually going to be having people in these devices. He's going to give them to some people, man. He says in Revelation 19 that people are going to be deceived into taking it. And it also says in Revelation 20:4 that people are going to be beheaded for not taking it. So what that lets you know is that Esau is going to have been able to implement these things on loads of people, and those that don't want to take it, he's going to kill them. So he's going to think, well, I've got rid of the people that are against me, and I've got the people that are for me. So I've got everything that I need right now. But he's going to still lose, man. Verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. That bow of steel is talking about the ICBMs, man. That Yahweh's going to make me let loose on the earth. That's what he's going to do. Verse 25, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. So all those that ain't getting burned up, they're going to be catching hell too, man, because they're going to be seeing us. And by us, I mean the Israelites. Whether it ain't me or not, well, fair enough, man. I hope I would be one of them people. But if it ain't me, it's going to still be one of my Israelite brothers that's going to do it. And they're going to see one of you crusty, decrepit Edomites, man. And they're going to put your ass to work, man. All you elite Edomites that have never did a hard day's work in your life, you're going to be doing a hard day's work. And some people will say, oh, I don't want no crusty, old, decrepit Edomite to do it. Well, it's not about them doing a good job. It's about a punishment. You're not trying to have an old Edomite doing the work because you want the job done properly, mate. The job's gonna get done regardless. It's about them having punishment, man. It's not about having a henched off Edomite, Brock Lesnar looking Edomite. It's about punishments. These elites are gonna have to pay for what they've did, man. They're gonna have to pay. No matter how weak they are, man, they're gonna have to strengthen their body. Then they're gonna work themselves until their spirit leaves them. Verse 26: all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. And that's what's happening right now, man. People are starting to look at you Edomites sideways. But for the Edomites that are doing the best in this world, or better than others, they're still not paying attention to these things. Verse 28, the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. They're going to, all that riches that they had. What does it say in Revelation 18, man? In 1 hour, so great riches is turned to naught. Because their main country of wealth, which is America, right? That's the main country that they use to try and show their ways and what they want to be like. That country is going to be completely destroyed off the face of the earth. Verse 29, this is the portion of a wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed to him by God. And that's what Esau's end is going to be, man. His end is going to be that he perish forever. And the true end of him, let me get it, man. It's always fun to bring this scripture out every now and again. We're talking about our evil twin Esau. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So the end of Edomites is going to be complete destruction, man. Complete destruction. And I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.